Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Song of the Morning, our beautiful retreat in northern Michigan on this glorious day. I'm assuming you're all awake and ready, so let us begin with an opening prayer. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, Jesus Christ, Bhagavan Krishna, Mahavatar Babaji, Lahiri Mahashai, Swami Sri Yukteswar, Paramahansa Yogananda, saints and sages of all religions, we humbly bow to you all. Free our spiritual path from all obstacles, and lead us to the shores of eternal wisdom and bliss. May thy love shine forever on the sanctuary of our devotion, and may we be able to awaken thy love in all hearts. Be thou the only King, reigning on the throne of our consciousness. O eternal energy, awaken within us conscious will, conscious vitality, conscious health, conscious realization, goodwill to all, vitality to all, good health to all, realization to all, eternal youth of body and mind, abide within us forever, forever, and forever. And now, with arms upraised, symbolizing our upraised consciousness, let us receive healing for the body, chanting the healing vibrations of Om. Om. For the mind, Om. And now for the soul, Om. Once again, good morning, and our topic today is how to quicken your spiritual progress. These are the teachings and the writings of Paramahansa Yogananda. So let us begin today with an affirmation. O blazing light, awaken my heart, awaken my soul, ignite my darkness, tear the veil of silence, and fill my temple with thy glory. Our Bible passage is from Matthew. Then two shall be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. The Bible commentary of Paramahansa Yogananda. When Jesus spoke of two being in the field and one being taken, the other left, he referred to the commonality of human beings, perhaps outwardly of comparable vocations and general countenance, whereas inwardly similarities give way to uniqueness, differing according to the quality of their inner life and thoughts. One person may be a great devotee, and the other very material. God bestows salvation or self-realization upon people not according to any outward condition or attainment, but commensurate with their inner spiritual qualifications. Hence, out of two working in the field or at the mill, the virtuous would be taken into heaven, saved or freed from reincarnating, and the materially minded would be left on earth, lifetime after lifetime, until he had worked out his karmic bondage. Therefore, Jesus pointed out that since God's subtle law of karma decrees just judgment on people without being influenced by their social status or earthly acclaim, but as to what they are within their real selves, and as to their accrued mental tendencies, it is up to the earnest devotee to meditate and be vigilant about the divine character of his inner consciousness. The spiritual aspirant must continuously ward off the invasion of delusions as he awaits the hour when cosmic consciousness and Christ consciousness will visit him, when your Lord doth come, to offer final liberation. Our passage from the Bhagavad Gita is from the 6th chapter. He who perceives me everywhere and beholds everything in me never loses sight of me, nor do I ever lose sight of him. The Gita commentary of Paramahansa Yogananda. The divine lover beholds God through every window of thought and space, and the cosmic beloved beholds the devotee through every window of his omnipresent love. And locked in visions of love, God and the devotee enjoy unparted union. After uniting his soul to God, the yogi may still maintain the dual relation. The liberated devotee and God is the object of adoration. This stanza of the Gita definitely points out that the illumined yogi does not lose the individuality of his soul. Instead, he finds his being extended into the being of the Spirit. An ordinary person perceives himself as separate from God. The advanced yogi feels his soul as a wave in the ocean of cosmic consciousness. But the completely liberated yogi beholds his soul wave as a manifestation of the cosmic ocean. The soul of the emancipated yogi can remain merged, if he wishes, in the Absolute as the Absolute. Or the liberated yogi, owing to the retention of his God-created individuality, which can never be lost, may remain or reappear in the physical body in which he was liberated, in order to worship God in any personal concept, such as Father, Mother, Friend, Beloved God, or in any desired material form, such as one of the deities, or incarnate as one of the avatars, such as Christ or Krishna, or as the all-pervading infinite. This stanza stresses the state of duality that may exist between the devotee and God. The liberated devotee can watch God through every open niche of space, as the Spirit can look at him through every pore of the sky. The true lover is God. We are all his beloveds, mistakenly seeking love in impermanent human beings. Our story today is Madhusudan's meeting with Gorakhnath. A flaw common to unsettled spiritual seekers is that they begin to feel spiritually stale when the Lord doesn't give them phenomenal demonstrations. When I heard this story, it cured me of any wish for miraculous powers. Gorakhnath had attained all the 8 powers, Aishwaryas or siddhis, of a fully enlightened yogi. At the time of his departure from the body, he wanted to bestow his powers on some worthy soul. The masters can do that, even as the mantle of Elijah's power was passed to Elisha. One day Gorakhnath saw in vision a young man, a very spiritual soul, standing by the Ganges in Benares. Having the power to transport himself astrally from one place to another, Gorakhnath appeared before the young man, Madhusudan, who looked up and, seeing the saint, said, "Please do not stand in front of me. You are obstructing the sun." The saint replied, "Do you know who I am? I am Gorakhnath." "I know," the young man said, "but I am busy now with my devotions." After some time, the devotee inquired of the saint, "What is it you want of me?" Gorakhnath explained, "I have 8 powers, and the one to whom I give this Chintamani, a mystical gem that grants all wishes, will have these powers. I wish to offer them to you." Madhusudan said, "All right, give them to me." Whereupon, to the great astonishment of Gorakhnath, he took the mystical gem and threw it far out into the waters of the Ganges. "Why did you do that?" Gorakhnath demanded. Then the young man said, "Delusion still, delusion still. Those powers were given to me to do with as I wished. Were they not? Well, that is the only use I have for them. Compared to that which I already have, they are nothing." The great Gorakhnath bowed down to him and said, "You have rid me of the last delusion that was keeping me from God." When you love God, you do not desire anything else, because God is the most lovable of anything you could possess. The devotee will accept no substitute for God. He knows that God is all in all, that He is ever present, and that He alone is a sure refuge from the travails of life. Our devotional reading is from Whispers from Eternity. May I be cheerfully busy. Thou art ever at work, and yet eternally smiling through countless joyous hearts. Bless me, that while I labor in the factory of life, I wear, like Thee, an unfading smile. May the waves of Thy power ever dance on the river of my daily activities. Divine Mother, as Thou findest delight in fashioning atoms, flowers, and universes, so teach me the secret of being creatively and cheerfully busy. We'll have our meditation now. So let us take the asana of meditation. The asana of meditation is to set the body in a way that the energies can flow. The breath can flow, but above all this, the currents of energy within will flow freely and allow us to deeply relax and to withdraw from the outer surface of the body in towards the spine and the higher centers. So with the spine straight, chin level, palms upturned, lift the gaze to the point between the eyebrows. the seat of the spiritual eye. I remember the first time I attended a yoga class in this room. The teacher pointed out that having us look at that point between the eyebrows, saying that the spiritual eye is omnipresent in the body. Which was an interesting observation for me. And then over time I realized that everything that we do, everything in our life, our spiritual life, but our real life affects and is a journey towards the spiritual eye. So here when we dedicate a time to allow that full manifestation so that we can deepen the awareness of our goal and relax into a state in which we can feel the divine current at the point between the eyebrows, but also all about us, everywhere. We live and move and have our being in the ocean of God's presence. But that awareness is inside us. So we develop this awareness by practice. And by bringing our gaze again and again, if it wanders, to the point between the eyebrows. And as Yoganandaji would say, to pour our attention through that point. And the idea of pouring that attention is not with nervous energy or tension, but with ease. This is like the sun coming up. It is inevitable. This is our true divine nature that is being revealed. So let us go within. Maybe watching the breath to begin with. And then moving ever deeper into the spiritual eye. Into the inner radiance, whether it is perceived as light. It is a vibratory, healing energy that permeates us. How to Quicken Your Spiritual Progress by Paramahansa Yogananda. If you only knew how beautiful your soul is, and how you have marred its expression in the ego and jarred that divine consciousness through wrong action, you would be astonished. Most people think of this life as so attractive, yet in time they tire of it. In death they go back unconsciously toward the soul. My consciousness is exactly reversed. I live in the soul now, and yet somehow carry on my work in this world. But I do not allow myself to be attached to anything, for I see the inequities and temporality of life. I see the cruelties, the big fish eating the little fish, one animal living on the flesh of another, life fighting life, the horrors of poverty and disease. I say, Lord, this is your show, so be it. But I do not care to be a part of it except to do your will. As quickly as I can, I shall do your work and get out of this play of yours. But I want to take others also away from this delusive drama of comedies and nightmares. The path to God has been described as being only as broad as a razor's edge, and sometimes it is also as sharp. If by free choice one walks that narrow path with single-heartedness and doesn't flinch or give up because of its incisiveness, he will reach God. It sounds difficult, but I maintain that the path is very simple if one makes up his mind to go all the way for the love of God. Whosoever loves God can never think of turning back. Though right attitude makes the path simple, that does not mean one will not encounter any conflicts and troubles along the way. But they do not dismay the true devotee. Haphazard seekers excuse their spiritual lethargy by rationalizing, "My mind is too restless," or "I am too sensual," and so on. Never concentrate on your faults. By doing so, you identify yourself with them. You are the one who puts the veil of delusion in front of your wisdom's eye. Whatsoever you think, that is what you are. Among the tests that might be faced, doubt is a devastating obstacle. So many people get caught in the indecisiveness of doubt, in speculation about God, in wondering if it is really possible to know him, and if so, whether they themselves have the capability to find him. Several incarnations are often wasted in such irresolute thinking. I see how many seekers come and go on the path, giving in to the ways of delusion. I look at their karma from the past, and though I am saddened by their lack of determination, I understand. That is why I am never over-encouraged when devotees come, and never discouraged by those who leave. I know exactly where the karma of each person is leading. But that pattern need not remain an absolute. If one listens to a master, he can change that self-created blueprint. He can overcome his karma. A true guru has no personal ambition for name or fame. His one desire is to serve others with the realization of God. When you are steadfast in the principles of the guru-disciple relationship, the spiritual path becomes very easy. No matter how delusion tries to pull you away, the master who has experienced God knows your trouble and will help you to steady yourself on the path again. That is what the Guru does for you if you are in tune with him. Even though you and the Guru may be thousands of miles apart, his help will reach out to you. I feel my master with me all the time, even though he is no longer incarnate on this earth plane. To have the guidance and grace of Guru with you, that is the easiest way to move along on the spiritual path. Tonight, when you drift into deep sleep, you shall forget all your weaknesses, gathered through countless incarnations. You will be locked in the embrace of the Spirit. Learn to do that consciously in the daytime. Hold on to the unruffled inner calmness of deep sleep. Then you can know God, for in calmness you are with the infinite. Kriya Yoga meditation helps you to establish your consciousness in that state. It isn't only meditation that I emphasize. Meditation plus keeping your mind with God during activity is what is necessary. Half the battle will be won by meditation, for the soul power that you bring out by meditation will influence your thoughts and behavior during activity. When you meditate deeply, that gives substantiation to your spiritual thoughts. The longer and deeper you meditate on a regular basis, the more you will find there is no difference between work and meditation. That is to say, whether you are working or meditating, you remain immersed in the divine consciousness of the blissful Spirit. You no longer identify yourself with the activities and aches and pains of a mortal body. You realize you are pure spirit. The body is a nest of delusion. It makes us believe in the reality of this finite world. But when we are with God, that seeming reality is gone. It is that simple. In the samadhi state of meditation, we consciously enjoy the blissful awareness of God as the sole reality. Why do you give up your divine nature? Why do you put on all kinds of moods and emotions which distort the expression of what you really are? Practice even-minded calmness all the time. Become a king, an absolute monarch of your own mental realm of calmness. In calmness, the mind is wholly free of emotional agitations. Unless the mind is calm, God will be obscured, so let nothing disturb your peaceable kingdom of calmness. Night and day carry with you the joy of the peace of God which passeth all understanding. Moods are your greatest enemy. Don't indulge in them. Destroy them, for they are a formidable stumbling block in the path of your progress. With the relentless might of watchfulness, guard yourself against moods. No matter what trials come, I never permit moods to enter my consciousness, and I prefer not to mix with anyone who is moody. I won't give heed to their moods, because they are very contagious. Somebody is grouchy, you go around him, and you will feel grouchy too. Mix with those who have a positive, cheerful disposition. Somebody is smiling, you go around that person and you will feel like smiling. Never get angry. Never try to get even with anyone. And don't find fault with others. Correct yourself. The whole world may mistreat you, but why should you mistreat yourself by wrong behavior? All of your troubles are only grafts on your consciousness. They do not belong to your soul, so why accept their limiting influence? Why say that you are restless or moody or that you can't meditate? Such statements are a lie, for they contradict the truth of your real self. Rather, inwardly affirm, I am a child of God. I am with him. He is with me. God has already given himself to you, but you have not accepted him. That you do not make the necessary effort to know him is the underlying cause of all your sorrow. Make up your mind that you can have God in this lifetime. To him you must go because in him is your home. As long as you stay away from God, there will be no end to your troubles, physical, moral, or mental, or spiritual. You do not know what you may have to go through, but you have enough intelligence to know yourself and to realize that you must go back to God whence you came. By searching the whole world, you will not find God. Intellectual discourses about the Creator will not give you God. But by seeking him within, making the effort every day, you will find him. The way to God is not through the intellect, but through intuition. Spirituality is measured by what you experience intuitively from the communion of your soul with God. It is so simple if inside you are always talking to him. Lord, come to me. Why do you put up a barrier of doubt between yourself and God? If you love him and inwardly talk to him and know he is with you, you will get much more result than from hours of just sitting absent-mindedly in silence, supposedly meditating, with your mind wandering over everything but God. Keep him in your heart all the time. And when you do meditate, go deep in divine communion. When the perception of God begins, you have no time for useless things. You want to remain by yourself, God and yourself, and you do not want to waste a precious moment that could rather be spent with him. Even when such devotees are active, that activity never diminishes their perception of love for God. Do not take this life too seriously. It will be gone before you know it. When our childhood was there, life seemed so beautiful. There were so many things to want, so many things to enjoy, with so little responsibility. But now see how life is. All those dreams are gone. In the same way, this episode in life will pass away. But as long as it exists for you, have but one trend of thought in your mind: God. If you seek him earnestly, how can he resist your love? Constantly, inwardly talk to him. Then he cannot remain away from you. Close your eyes, think of God, and give the Divine Mother a call from your soul. This you can do anytime, anywhere. No matter what else you may be doing, you can mentally converse with God. My Lord, I am looking for you. I don't want anything but you alone. I long to be with you always. You made me in your image, and my home is with you. I want to come to thee. This is the usual time of our offertory, so there is a link that should appear on the screen. We've been very gratified by the support of people at this time, and we hope to have our doors open gradually soon. I think from this reading today, you can feel what we're really about here with Yogananda's perception of the needs of the spiritual path and what it takes. And this property is dedicated to that kind of approach, to create an environment in which we can more deeply experience and commune with that presence. So we're getting an extra blessing, really, with, in a certain sense, we've been able to be in greater quiet and peace on the outward sense for a couple of months now. And we do, though, look forward to when you can all start coming again, and this place will survive. And it will survive for a long time because there's real heart and devotion and loyalty to the masters and to God and love of nature and love of all the people who come through here. So let us close with a prayer. Teach me, O Father, to find my oneness with Thee in the peace within and the tumult without. I care not whether silence or noise surround me, if at all times and in all places I may feel Thine enveloping presence. Om. Peace. Amen. My God and I go in the fields together. We walk and talk as good friends should and do. We clasp our hands, our voices ring with laughter. My God and I walk through the meadows view. We clasp our hands, our voices ring with laughter. My God and I walk through the meadows. Oh, Master, let me walk with Thee in lowly paths of service free. Tell me Thy secret, help me bear the strain of toil, the thread of care. Help me